Welcome to the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Tuesday, May 26th. Over the last 24 hours, we've seen no lightning across the Great Basin and only a few isolated showers in the far north. Our Great Basin fire activity has been light over the last 24 hours with only a few small fires reported across parts of Utah into western Nevada. Over the last 14 days, we've had precipitation mainly target the northern half of the Great Basin and most significantly across Idaho, Wyoming, and far northern Nevada, and also parts of the Sierra. This precipitation has been well above normal for the time of year due to a couple of storms that moved through, bringing significant amounts of precipitation. Otherwise, very dry conditions have continued over the last 2 to 4 weeks over the southern areas of the Great Basin, especially southern Nevada, the Arizona Strip, and parts of southern Utah. We've also had some very dry areas over western Nevada that have not seen much rainfall at all in the last couple of weeks. ERCs remain below the 50th percentile across the northern half of the Great Basin, but have been on the rise due to the warmer and drier conditions. Over western Nevada, we're seeing ERCs approaching the 70th percentile. However, our most critical conditions are over the Arizona Strip, southern and eastern Utah, where ERCs are above the 70th to 80th percentile. And looking at some of our ERC charts, how these ERCs relate to normal conditions. Over southern and eastern Utah and the Arizona Strip, we are seeing those ERCs near record levels for the time of year, and these ERCs will continue to increase over the next few days as we see very hot temperatures. Further west into Nevada, we are seeing ERCs that are above normal. Looking at our live fuel moisture, our sagebrush has been starting to trend downward and is generally near to below normal for the time of year across Nevada and Utah. The satellite image from this morning shows a ridge of high pressure dominating the west coast, bringing us our clear skies and very hot temperatures and dry conditions. Otherwise, we do have westerly flow that will bring weak systems across Idaho, Wyoming, far northern Nevada, and northern Utah, which will bring us some clouds and occasional light shower activity over the next couple of days. Otherwise, we'll be watching this area of low pressure off the west coast as it slowly moves eastward and approaches the area, bringing a change to our weather later this week. So for later today, mainly hot and dry conditions over much of the southern areas of the Great Basin with some occasional clouds and light showers over the north, otherwise low to moderate fire potential. Our temperatures today will continue to heat up and we will see highs in the 90s to low 100s over western and southern areas of the Great Basin. In some of these areas, these temperatures are near records for the time of year. Otherwise, cooler conditions will remain for another couple of days over Idaho and Wyoming as those systems pass by to the north. And also relative humidity will remain higher in the north and in the single digits to low teens in the south. By Wednesday, we'll see that system in the north move eastward into the Rockies. This may bring some isolated showers or thunderstorms to parts of northeast Utah into Wyoming and still Idaho and northern Utah. And again, keeping temperatures down a little bit in the north for one more day. Otherwise, fire potential will remain low to moderate with hot and dry conditions in the south. Temperatures on Wednesday will reach the 80s to 90s across much of Nevada, Utah, and southern Idaho with highs well over 105 in the south. And again, these temperatures well above normal, 10 to 20 degrees above normal across the Great Basin with near record highs in Nevada. Single digits to low teen humidity in the south. So again, continuing to dry out our fuels over the next couple of days due to the hot temperatures and low relative humidity. On Thursday, the ridge moves over the Great Basin, so we will see very hot and dry conditions in all areas. You can see from our significant fire potential map that we're seeing a lot more yellow and brown on the map, indicating the drying of the fuels fairly rapidly with these very hot temperatures for May. Highs will reach generally the 90s over much of the valleys of southern Idaho into Nevada and Utah, and the Arizona Strip will see high temperatures above 100 or 105. Relative humidity will be some of the lowest we'll see on Thursday with single-digit humidity across much of Nevada into southern and eastern Utah. Forecast amount of precipitation is generally just some light showers in the north affecting Idaho and Wyoming and just a spattering of very light precip dipping into northern Utah and northern Nevada. As we move into Friday and Saturday, that's where our weather really starts to change as this area of low pressure off the west coast moves near the coastal areas. This will allow for an increase in winds on Friday over southern Nevada. We have not indicated any high risk yet, but those areas we will continue to monitor depending on how strong those winds will be. Right now they're looking to be around 30 miles per hour, but if they're a little bit stronger, we'll likely add some high risk. We'll also be watching this area of low pressure to see if we get any moisture pulled into the Sierra front to see any thunderstorm activity on Friday. After several days of near or record heat, that would be significant if those thunderstorms are on the drier side. So continuing to monitor that, and also possibly over eastern Utah, starting on Friday, we could see some thunderstorms, which could be critical for those areas. So quite a lot we're monitoring starting Friday. As we move into Saturday, this area of low pressure quickly moves into the northwest. Again, we'll be watching for any lightning activity on the far west side, and also that moisture could remain over eastern Utah for thunderstorms. But really the big picture on Saturday will be the stronger winds. We'll see a much stronger wind event across much of Nevada into western Utah, so we did indicate high risk, especially after our very dry conditions. We'll likely see wind gusts above 40 miles per hour. On Sunday, we see more of a trough of low pressure along the west coast. We could see some moisture move in for clouds and possibly some showers or thunderstorms over parts of Idaho and western Nevada. We'll also see, as this area of low pressure moves in, a significant drop in temperatures. So after our very, very hot temperatures this week, we will see somewhat of a cool down over the weekend over western and northern areas of the basin. Otherwise, still some wind to deal with on Sunday over parts of western Utah. As we move into Monday, we will see conditions, or at least see some of our fuel conditions moderate over northern and western areas with some of those cooler temperatures, but we'll be watching for any shower activity in the north. Looking at our 7-day total precipitation, again, in the north is what we'll see here the next couple of days, and then over parts of Nevada in the west and along the Sierra is what we'll see with that storm system that's moving in this weekend. So we will see what kind of thunderstorm activity we get and also how much moisture comes along with it, and the same conditions for eastern Utah. Looking at the 8 to 14 day outlook, taking us into the first week of June, looks like still warm conditions with the exception of some cooling in the northwest, and then possibly a better chance of showers and thunderstorms going into the first part of June for the Great Basin. That concludes our webcast for today. Check back tomorrow for the latest updates.